We have several new developments tonight in Chicago's migrant crisis.
First, a stern call from Governor Pritzker for the White House to do more about the crisis. In a public letter, the governor directly asked President Biden to intervene in the border busing program that has brought thousands of migrants to Chicago. He went on to call the situation untenable and again asked for expedited work authorizations. He said the state is struggling to find more housing for the migrants as tensions rise throughout the city.
No child should ever sleep on the floor of a police station. I know that we all agree on this and there are frustrations, and what we don't agree on is the prioritization of funding.
Meanwhile, plans are progressing quickly in Pilsen, with families set to move into a new city-run migrant shelter tomorrow.
This was just announced in the last few hours during a meeting where community members did not hold back.
Casey Cronus is in Pilsen with the story.
Residents were promised time to ask questions, but a lengthy presentation from city officials left them on edge with little time to share their concerns. Residents are sounding off about the city's plan to shelter migrants in Pilsen. Concerns include its proximity to schools, senior centers, and a curfew of 11 p.m., one many neighbors believe is far too late.
I don't think that people need to be out in the neighborhood up until 11, especially around the Warwick Park.
Others are encouraging the community to welcome them with open arms.
We need to get them in before the cold gets here.
The shelter is planned for this building in the 2200 block of South Halsted. City officials say the site will be staffed around the clock, and Chicago police will make regular visits to the building.
It's nice that you're going to help others, but what about the people who are already in the city?
There's enough jobs for everybody here. We all fit in America. Todos somos americanos, and we want those workers' permits for all.
Of the 17,000 migrants that have arrived in Chicago, more than 3,000 are still waiting on spots to open in temporary shelters, many of them living at police stations. In the last week, 42 migrant buses have arrived from the border, but city officials warn we could start seeing up to 25 buses per day. The city also plans to turn the Amundsen Park field house on the west side into a migrant shelter, an idea strongly opposed by the 29th Ward alderman. A community meeting will be held there tomorrow evening. In Pilsen, Casey Cronus, Fox 32, Chicago.
As the Pilsen shelter opens, Second Ward Alderman Brian Hopkins is calling on the city to close the migrant shelter at the Inn of Chicago in Streeterville. Now, our crews have seen the situation there, and neighbors complain about the noise and nuisance of the loitering crowds. Hopkins also alleges drug dealing and prostitution at that site. The city's contract with the inn expires at the end of the year.